Welcome to the Pricing Lady podcast, where smart business owners price with purpose, profit with clarity, and go get paid. Today, we're taking a look at whether free sessions are actually helping your business or quietly working against it. If you've been offering free sessions to get clients, or you're wondering whether you should, this episode is for you because the question sounds simple, but what's underneath it isn't. Similar to the last episode where we looked at market saturation in the coaching industry, today's episode is inspired by a question from that keynote talk I did for coaching.com. Someone asked, should we be offering free sessions? And I've been sitting with it because I think the way it usually gets framed misses what's actually going on. Let's go ahead and take a look. The logic behind free sessions feels solid. Give people a taste of the work, they see the value, they hire you, it builds trust, it lowers the barrier, it feels generous. Yeah, it feels good. And sometimes it actually works like that. But there's a step that most people skip because a free session isn't just a little bit of free work, it's a signal about who you are, about how you work, and what someone should expect when they engage with you. You're actually setting boundaries here, and that becomes very important in pricing. Why does this matter? Think for a moment about how you hire any other professional. A plumber doesn't fix your toilet for free before you agree to let them tackle the kitchen sink. And a lawyer doesn't argue a case pro bono to show you what they're capable of. You hire them based on whether they understand your problem, whether they can explain what needs to happen, and whether you trust them to do it. Coaching, on the other hand, developed this habit of proving itself through free work. And I think I know why. Because coaching is a coach's comfort zone. When you're in that first conversation and it feels a little scary and uncertain, defaulting to what you're good at is natural. It's comfortable. But here is the thing. In that moment, you're not just a coach. You're a business owner. And the job in that conversation isn't coaching. It's to understand what this person is dealing with and to help them see whether and how you can help them best. That's closer to what good salespeople do. I know, you're cringing. Many coaches out there flinch at the word salesperson. Oh, Lord. But done well, selling is not manipulation. It's clarity. It's being genuinely useful at exactly the right moment and in exactly the right way. What goes wrong here is that when the line is not clear, the free session turns into coaching. You're trying to show value, you over-deliver, the person gets a lot out of it, and then they don't convert because they feel they already got what they came for. Now, we both know a lot of times they're barely scratching the surface, but that's not how it feels to them. Or people show up who are genuinely curious, but not actually ready to invest. And the free session attracted the wrong audience. Not bad people, but people not fit to pay for your work right now. And then the line between exploratory conversation and pay work gets really fuzzy. You start to wonder why clients aren't booking, why these pricing conversations feel so difficult. And the answer, quite frankly, is sitting right at the beginning of that process in how you're conducting these quote unquote free sessions. You're wondering, okay, that's great. I understand. What do I do about it? And the question here that I want to be clear about, it is not really should you or should you not offer free sessions. The real question is, what is the session's purpose? What is it actually for? And early in my own business, I definitely made this mistake. I used that initial conversation to show what I could do, to prove my skills, to demonstrate my value, and I quickly experienced the downsides of that. People got something useful. They thought they had all the answers they need, so they moved on. Or I'd spent real energy on talking to someone who was not ready to invest. And while at times that's okay, and I will choose to do that, that is not where I want to spend the bulk of my energy. So I shifted it. That first conversation became about helping the client gain clarity on the problem they were sitting with and how we might work together to solve it, helping them figure out the best way forward, whether or not that was with me, and not trying to solve this bigger problem that they were having. Just here's what I see, here's what's possible, here's how to think about those next steps. And that shift made a real difference because it attracted the right people, it converted the right people, and my paid work was able to stay quite distinct from any free of charge work that I've done. That happened because I made that decision and I chose to draw that line. So the question here is, what do you want someone to understand or decide by the end of this first conversation? If you can answer that clearly, then you can shape the quote unquote session around it. So here's my challenge or reflection question for you today. Think back to your last few discovery calls or free sessions and ask yourself, which hat was I wearing? Was I being the coach or was I being the business owner? Were you trying to help them or were you trying to impress them? Because those are two different jobs, and knowing which one you're doing will tell you a lot about why these conversations went the way that they did. So, should you offer free sessions? Only if you're clear on what they're for, and only if what happens in that conversation couldn't just as easily happen in a paid one. Because a free session is not neutral. It shapes who shows up, how seriously they take the work, and how your pricing lands later. And if you are defaulting to it out of habit or comfort, it's probably costing you more than you think. That's all for today. If this episode got you thinking, share it with someone in the coaching world who's wrestling with the same question. For you, get clear on what that first conversation is for, and then go on out there and get paid.